Howdy folks, Treadhead. So I went and put together some pictures into a little slideshow. So we'll go through that and hopefully I can remember everything, all these vehicles and stuff. Anyway, because there's a lot. All right. So this is from the Ontario Regiment Museum. Some of it's from Tank Saturday yesterday, and some of it is from almost 2 years ago, the last Tank Saturday I attended, which was Winter Warfare. So you'll see some snow. Anyway, first picture here is the business end of an 88 millimeter gun. The Ontario Regiment, they're restoring this gun. So it looks a little different than it does here in the picture now. There might be another picture later, we'll see. But when I was looking at it yesterday, they've started to repaint. So it was part primer, part paint, but it's coming along, which is awesome. All right, there's the T-34-85 with their friendly Russian invaders. This is from the winter event, obviously, with the snow. This is the fighting compartment of a Canadian Army TLAV, which is an M113, like an upgrade kind of thing. That's a Lynx armored reconnaissance vehicle, a BMP. There's a Bren carrier. The engine compartment of an M113 armored personnel carrier. Hetzer, of course. Hetzer was new 2 years ago. Well, so it's still kind of new since we've had a couple years off almost. This is when during the winter event, the tracks were all off of the Panzer III because they were doing track maintenance, pounding out all the pins, replacing the pins, new links where needed, and everything. Takes a lot to keep these vehicles running. So once again, my hat's off to the volunteers that make all of this possible. There's some more. There's all the tracks. Front end of a Chieftain, and the one beside it, the Mark 10 with the Berlin Brigade camo, and the one beside it is the Mark 11, the green one. There's that TLAV again. Like I said, it's an M113 upgrade. It's longer, has more road wheels, and a bigger compartment inside. This one's set up as an engineering vehicle, and it was new to the Ontario Regiment Museum as of the Winter Warfare event. Canadian Iltis. This was a VW design vehicle from Germany that was licensed manufactured in Canada by Bombardier. And it's just kind of like a Jeep. It's not a Jeep, but it's kind of like that. And it's not armored very much at all. There's a T-54. Another shot of the Hetzer. There you are, pounding out pins for track maintenance in the workshop. This is the Centurion gate guard. There's that T-34-85 rolling around outside. Canada and Russia's climate's kind of similar, so you could almost imagine this being in Russia. There it is. Magnificent tank. Looks great. There are the guys again. And this is from yesterday. This is the Chieftain. This is one of the mine protective vehicles. MRAP. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have to look up the particulars on this vehicle, but this vehicle actually served with the Canadian Army in Afghanistan, so it's got some history. And this is one of the two or three running Shermans that the museum has. This is Billy. The other one's Bart. They are M4A2E8s. So a little different for those of you who played Blitz. You have the M4A3E8 in the game, which just means the A3 platform has a Ford V8, and this one, the A2, has the General Motors diesel engine in it. There's the Panzer III. American Humvee, because everybody needs a Humvee. You gotta have a Humvee. This is the 37mm cannon on the regiment. Has two SDKFZ 251 Hanomag half-track, German half-tracks. One has this 37mm cannon mounted on it, and the other one has just a machine gun. Now, I did a video probably 3 years ago on this Centurion when it was still under restoration, and now it is fully operational, and hopefully we'll get to see it. They didn't run it yesterday, but hopefully we'll get to see it in the future roaming around on the track. Here we have an M3 Stuart. This is Leo, right, with all the hatches opened up. That's the driver's spot. You can see the ammunition stowage behind him, and there's the bow machine gun. Okay, the next three vehicles are they all have a common hull, but different turrets and different mounts. This is it's part of the Canadian AVGP, Armored Vehicle General Purpose Program. These are made right here in London, Ontario, the city I live in, by what was at the time was General Motors diesel and is now General Dynamics Land Systems. Okay, so this is the Cougar. Has a 76mm gun. Next one is the Bison. This is like a engineering vehicle. And this one finally is this is the Grizzly. This is the armored personnel carrier version, and it would have a 50 caliber, and at the time it was a 7.62mm machine gun mounted up in the turret there, in between the smoke launchers. All right, there's the front of the Grizzly again, and it looks like from the oil pan they were obviously doing some work on this one. And here, stripped down to the frame, they tell me this is an American half-track, so hopefully very soon we will have an American half-track roaming around the place. And of course it wouldn't be a Russian tank without the fuel drum and the log attached. There's the other German half-track, the Hanomag, with the machine gun mount on the top there. Yeah, always nice to see mud on tracks. That means they're moving. This is the driver's compartment of a Ferret scout car. And here we have a Jeep painted up in the white UN peacekeeping colors. Canada did a bunch of has done and continues to do a ton of peacekeeping missions all over the world. There's one of the shops, and that's another one of the shops. You can see there's some kind of vehicle they're working on back there. I forgot to ask. Didn't know which one it was, but anyway, this is the other side of the shop there, and you'll notice all the fuzzy around the outside. Well, here, this is why, because the whole window is covered with dust. So Treadhead, being an idiot, I cleared a little square and labeled it appropriately as the viewport, and that's what you get. Okay, anyway, what else? Oh, back end of a Chieftain. You'll see a big exhaust and a small exhaust. So the big exhaust is for the main engine, and that little smaller exhaust is for what they call the pony engine, which allows you to run electrics and all the other stuff associated with the tank without having to run the big diesel engine and waste more fuel. Fighting compartment and driver's position of a Bren gun carrier. And there's the water unit they use for the equipment demonstration area to keep down the dust. There's a Canadian Leopard. A new vehicle to the museum in the middle there. It's the Canadian Lav 3, and there's that T-Lav in the back. There's the Leopard. Magnificent. Front shot. And this is the Lav 3. This was the Canadian Army workhorse in Afghanistan. There it is, 8-wheel, 25mm Bushmaster chain gun, and a 7.62mm machine gun up top there. And finally, that's once again, there's the TLAV. And one thing of note, you'll see that the track, it differs from the traditional M113 track, which is all metal. This is a Canadian invention. It's made by a company in Quebec. It's a continuous rubber track. So it is lighter, affords more mobility. It's quieter, and I can attest to that because I heard it running around the arena, and it is a lot quieter than the other M113 with the steel track for sure. Anyway, pretty cool. So, yeah, that's the end of the slideshow, and hopefully I'm going to go through more photos, and maybe I'll put together some more of these. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you again. Bye now.